Okay, so apparently the United States has the biggest budget in the world, dwarfing any other defense budget, but its stocks of weaponry are dwindling, and the US barely has any weapons to keep its defense readiness. I never bought this argument. I never will buy this argument. It's ridiculous. It's silly. And also, it has been sort of very soon after disproven. Apparently, it was a complete fabrication, this claim that the US readiness was compromised. Okay? And then, of course, after the phone call with Zelensky, Trump flip-flopped again, because the biggest thing about Trump is just he changes his mind on Ukraine every day or every 2 weeks. He calls Zelensky a dictator, then he says that he never said it. He freezes aid, he sort of kind of unfreezes aid, half-assed, because, okay, let's get into it. He recently said after the conversation with Zelensky that he would unlock the flow of Ukrainian weapons, weapons to Ukraine, mainly defensive weapons, which already is kind of iffy to me. He said that he would send weapons that would allow Ukraine to defend itself because there's been a lot of attacks. And he also said that Putin is sort of bullshitting him because he's very nice, but it doesn't mean anything. But that's a thing that we're going to be discussing further on, because it's also very funny, but actually also not very funny at the same time. US President Donald Trump has promised to send 10 Patriot interceptors to Ukraine, a smaller number that had been paused previously while en route to the country, Axios reported on July 8th, citing its sources. So if you remember, I read out a list to you of the weapons that were held, and it said on the list 30 Patriot missiles, PAC-3 MSE, which means that basically Trump has promised to send 1/3 of the Patriot missiles that were promised to Ukraine. Well, not just promised, they were approved. They were waiting in Poland to be sent to Ukraine, and they were blocked because of the diminishing stockpiles. And so we ended up in a situation where Trump has half-heartedly decided, graciously, because Ukraine is being bombed and attacked by drones every single day. New record is being broken. Tonight was also very bad. Explosions were heard here. Explosions were heard in Kyiv. A ton of drones were unleashed on the entirety of Ukraine. So, hearing all that, Trump has decided, okay, I'm gonna send you some Patriots, but only 1/3 of what you were supposed to get. So be glad, be happy, okay, by this result. Well, I'm not happy. I'm not happy that the president flip-flops one way or the other every other day, and then just basically releases a fraction of what Ukraine was supposed to get. And then Trump also suggested that Germany sell one of its Patriot batteries to Ukraine, according to 3 sources cited by Axios. They said that the US and European allies would split the cost of the purchase. The discussions came as Ukraine is calling upon its allies, particularly the United States, to support Ukrainian air defense by supplying life-saving Patriot systems and relevant missiles. And yeah, especially recently, we can definitely say that these are life-saving systems, considering that last year when I've been in Kyiv, very rarely have I heard reports of people dying from attacks. Usually the anti-air would sort of intercept most of the attacks on Kyiv. This year, however, oh boy, it's totally different. I've been in Kyiv during some of the worst attacks, during one of which 27 people died, hundreds of people were injured, and yeah, it's just brilliant that Trump decides to throw some breadcrumbs so that maybe some areas in Ukraine could be protected. The Pentagon said on July 2nd that some military assistance to Ukraine had been halted as the US Defense Department conducts a review of foreign aid deliveries because, it either has to go home or to Israel. Israel needs it a lot more. On July 7th, the Pentagon said it would renew shipments, saying the additional defensive weapons were intended to help Ukraine protect itself while the US works towards a lasting peace, which is why the US will send only 1/3 of the anti-air missiles necessary to defend Ukrainian sky, but that's great. Merz called Trump to request the release of the Pulse interceptors, according to Axios. During the call, Trump proposed that Germany sell one of its own Patriot batteries to Ukraine. While no agreement has been reached, officials on both sides say negotiations are ongoing, and this is where some friction happened, I guess. German officials maintain that Berlin has already sent a higher share of its available Patriot systems to Ukraine than any other NATO country, including the US. So the US doesn't want to send the full amount. I guess Germany doesn't want to sell its battery because it says that it's already sent enough. Russia has escalated its aerial campaign against Ukraine in recent weeks, launching large-scale missile and drone attacks that have killed and injured hundreds of civilians across multiple cities, including the one that I'm in now, including the one that I'm usually in. The suspension of US arms deliveries, which include Patriots and precision-guided munitions, drew criticism from Kyiv, obviously. So obviously that has happened. Obviously we are seeing Ukraine once again being screwed by Donald Trump and his policy towards Ukraine. And, of course, apart from giving Ukraine weapons in full amount, not 1/3, which would be nice, what else could help Ukraine to succeed in repelling the Russian attacks and then diminishing Russia's capability of, attack Ukraine continuously? I guess that would be sanctions. Let me see if I can find the statement. I'm a very professional streamer. Trump, Putin, nice. I'm gonna. There you go. Trump says Putin talking a lot of bullshit on Ukraine. There you go. I found it. I found the brilliant quote 7 hours ago. Let's watch it. I wonder if this is the thing that I'm looking for. It looks promising though, so we're gonna watch it. Okay? We're gonna watch this promising clip. I do believe that it has a lot of promise. I do trust so. Let's see. Why is it muted?
Gone in. I think when Putin, and I don't think Putin would have gone in. I think when Putin looked at how stupid and incompetent that operation was, he said, wow, this might be a chance. And we're dealing with him now too. We're not happy with Putin. I'm not happy with Putin. I can tell you that much right now, because he's killing a lot of people. And a lot of them are his soldiers and their soldiers, mostly. And it's now up to 7,000 a week. And I'm not happy with Putin. Okay, any questions? Yes.
Yes, sir. You just said that you're not happy with.
I wanna hear him say that he is nice, but it doesn't mean anything. I wonder, was it here? Let's see.
Vladimir Putin, is there anything that you plan to do to act on that feeling of unhappiness?
I wasn't telling you. Don't we want to have a little surprise? Finish it up.
Oh, yes. Just sort of turning back to Russia, if there's anything that you would signal about your displeasure with them.
Well, look, I'm very unhappy with them. There's no reason for this. It's turned out to be tougher, but it's only tougher. And I will say the Ukrainians were brave, but we gave them the best equipment ever made. We gave them...
No, you did not give them the best equipment ever made. Are you kidding me? Oh, gosh.
The anti-tank busters.
We gave them the best equipment ever gave. We gave them... ever made. We gave them...
The anti-tank busters that knocked out tanks. I mean, you just aim them in the direction of the tank and the tank is gone. We gave them missiles, the latest and the greatest. They were able to shoot down a lot of things that would have normally wiped out. Probably would have been a very quick war. It would have been a war that lasted 3-4 days, but they had the benefit of...
No! That's what the... Okay, I'm pretty sure the Ukrainian people lasted more than 3 days before the US aid flooded in, okay? So that is already an incorrect statement. I can't believe that oh boy. Oh my God.
Unbelievable equipment. And Europe gave them to. We gave them far more because Biden shouldn't have done that. He should have equalized. We should have given them the same, or we should have given actually less than Europe.
Oh, okay. I love this. I love how Trump just straight up says, yeah, US should have given less aid to Ukraine. Ukraine should have been given less support. The United States, the greatest ally of Ukraine right now. We gave them a lot. The amount that we gave them never been seen before. Yeah, okay, yeah. The 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 war would have ended in 3 days if they did not have the aid from us that they did not have at that time. This is just brilliant. This is the best thing ever. And the best, I mean the worst.
Affects Europe much more than us, but we're in there for over $300 billion. Europe's in there for over 100 billion, but still, Europe.
What? That's not true. Okay, now I have to do some fact checking, okay? We need to do some real-time fact checking, okay? Total amount of aid provided by Europe. Because this is some bullshit. I hate it when Trump starts lying about aid. Let me see. EU assistance to Ukraine in US dollars. 162 billion. This is from when? Okay, it's pretty recent. 54 billion. The EU is getting close to the United States in military assistance, which is weird to think about. Okay, let's get him some credit and hear what he has to say again. Like, he's playing so fast and loose with these numbers.
A lot, $1 billion. It affects Europe much more than us, but we're in there for over $300 billion. Europe's in there for over 100 billion, but still, Europe gave a lot. And
how much did the US actually give? Total US aid to Ukraine. Council of Foreign Relations. March 2025. Okay. It's important though that of the total US government spending related to the war, about 128 billion directly aids the government of Ukraine. So what is the total aid? How does aid to Ukraine compare that for other recipients? Well, it's not over 300 billion. It also depends how you break down the aid, but it's not over 300.
I will say this, the Ukrainians, whether you think it's unfair that we gave all that money or not, they were...
Isn't it Tulsi Gabbard's job to make sure that her boss watched enough of breathing cartoons before making such statements? I mean, that's true, but when people in Trump's cabinet do their jobs, as you've probably witnessed, he just dismisses them. So he just says that they're wrong. So at this point, what's even the point? Right? What is even the point? Also, it annoys me that from the beginning of the war, let's be honest, the aid was, let's just put it bluntly, half-assed, okay? It isn't just about the number of dollars that is spent on aid. That is a very dishonest way to discuss aid. Like, it's also about the quantity of the weapons provided to Ukraine, the timetable on how the weapons were provided, how long were the delays of the delivery of the weapons, how those delays affected the situation on the front. Like, none of it is ever discussed. It's just, oh, we gave this and this number. So that means that we did the best to provide Ukraine with the best sort of support. And they didn't win. Like, this is frustrating me. This step one, half-ass aid, give it in too little quantities, too late, when Russia already to some degree adapted to what was being sent. Give just enough support, give just enough weapons and aid so that Ukraine does not win but also doesn't lose, and then act surprised that Ukraine didn't win, and then say, well, there isn't anything more that we could have done. They just, shrug your hands and say, well, we've given the best possible aid, and Ukraine, I guess, is not in Moscow yet. This war was just unwinnable. This war was just, this is the this sort of line of argumentation is what makes me the most annoyed about the whole thing.
Very brave because somebody had to operate that stuff, and a lot of people I know wouldn't be operating it. They wouldn't have the courage to do it, so they fought very bravely. But we gave them
What kind of a statement is that? This is so stupid.
the best equipment in the world. We make the
Also, you did not give Ukraine the best equipment in the world. Come on. Like many systems that Ukraine has received are very outdated models of the, like, come on, what sort of F-16s did Ukraine get for one? Do you know? Like, yeah, Ukraine got F-16s, but then that's great, but what model of the F-16 did Ukraine get? Do you know that? Do you know the answer to that question? Like, it's not the best and not the state of the art that Trump would like you to believe. Hold on. What model of F-16 did Ukraine get? What kind of F-16 did Ukraine get from the Netherlands? Answers to when the F-16s were produced, what modernizations have undergone? Like, they were pretty old. Oh, okay. When were the F-16s for Ukraine produced? Back in the late 1970s, the production of aircraft for European F-16s operations was localized in the Netherlands and Belgium at the Fokker and Sabca plants where they were produced until the mid-1990s. The first F-16 for the Royal Netherlands Air Force was made back in 1979, and then the last one in February 1992. Okay? In general, the country had a fairly powerful aircraft fleet of 213 fighters, but with the end of the Cold War, the redundant jets were disposed of partially by decommissioning, partially by selling them to Jordan and Chile, and that is why the current number of F-16s in the Netherlands is 42. Logic suggests those should be from the last batches produced. So, yes, these are... Which version of F-16 will Ukraine receive? All the F-16s of the Dutch and Danish air forces were modernized starting the mid-19s to the mid-2000s, under the midlife update. In a nutshell, what differs the F-16's MLU from the basic version is that the standard radar was replaced with an NAAPG, which increased the target detection range up to 110 kilometers. So it's not the best possible weapon, okay? I'm gonna actually Google a question. Why didn't Ukraine get... Oh, interesting. Yeah, Ukraine's not getting the top of the line equipment. That's the gist of it, okay? The gist of it is Ukraine is absolutely not getting the state of the art equipment, okay? So that's definitely a lie when Trump says that Ukraine's getting the best possible equipment.
the best, but we gave them the best equipment in the world. We make the best military equipment by far. There's nobody close. You look at other...
Okay, let's Google it again. Okay, what F-16s did the U.S. provide to Ukraine? F-16 pulled from U.S. boneyard are being delivered to Ukraine for spare parts. Okay, the best weapons in the world, huh? The state of the art. The U.S. had not committed to giving Ukraine its F-16, but images of the type being flown out of Arizona on Ukrainian N-124 began circulating. Okay, pulled from the boneyard. That sounds like state of the art to me. Yeah, pulled out of the boneyard. Brilliant, 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 brilliant.
Equipment from other countries. It's not even close. That's why everybody wants to buy our equipment. And that's
well, increasingly not so, but that's neither here nor there. The U.S. is starting to lose more and more weapons deals, actually, directly thanks to Donald Trump, mind you. Make America great again, art of the deal, and so on and so forth.
why we're going to step up these contractors now that make it, and they're brilliant, but they make it too slowly. And we have to step them up, Pete, and let them make it at a much higher rate.
It's not about making them too slow. It's about the European weapons defense industry being very, very fragmented. It's not about the tempo. That's not exactly what the problem is.
We have to do that, and it should end. And I don't know. We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin. For you want to know the truth, He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
Oh wow. Yeah, see, there's the statement. And now he's going to commit to sanctions. Okay? He's gonna say if he's gonna throw bullshit at me, I'm going to throw bullshit right back at him. And he's gonna say I'm gonna throw so many sanctions at him that he's gonna regret bullshitting me. Nobody bullshits Donald Trump. Peace through strength. I'm gonna give Ukraine so much aid. I'm gonna I'm gonna push forward so many sanctions that Putin is simply going to regret ever even thinking about bullshitting me, is what we are surely about to hear, right? In a few moments, just in a few seconds, we're about to hear that because, as everybody always said, Trump is all about peace through strength. So let's hear it. Let's hear the statement.
Do you want to sanction him? Lindsey Graham has a sanctions bill on Russia. Do you want him to?
I'm looking at it. Yeah, no, I'm looking. The Senate is passing and passed a very, very tough sanctions bill. Yeah, I'm looking at
Can you
it.
sign that?
It's an optional bill. It's totally at my option. They pass it totally at my option and to terminate totally at my option. And I'm looking at it very strongly.
Oh, well, never mind. He did not say any of the things that I thought that he would. Actually, the opposite. Whimpering weakness once again. Oh, Trump is just like Putin is just openly bullshitting me. Oh, am I going to sanction him? Well, I'm looking. I'm looking into it. I'm looking at it. Don't worry. We're working. We're working on it. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. Is this for real? Well, it is for real, of course. It's Donald Trump. Every other week he decides that Ukraine is not worth helping and all aid needs to be frozen. And then he decides that Putin is bullshitting him, but he also decides that he doesn't really want to do anything about it because art of the deal. He's looking at it very strongly. Yeah, very strongly. Yeah, I don't have the strength anymore. I'm an old man. Looking at it strongly has drained all of my energy. I'm sorry. My apologies. I have been drained. I'm sorry. Okay. It's too much. It's too much for me. It's all too much. It's all just too much. I cannot sanction them. As the whole Iran thing affected the Ukraine conflict, it didn't seem to because Russia already has the Shahid blueprint and is producing it in Russia at this point. So, no, it is not. But hey, look on the bright side. Russia is actually looking to include some new countries into the war, like Laos. So that's great, huh? That's brilliant. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Fool me twice, and I'm looking at it strongly, I guess. Also, it has been more than twice. It has been far more than twice at this point, so